My next model that we start studying will be Rutherford's model, and the experiment which is the basis of this model is Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment. Now here again students, it's essentially a recapitulation, so I'll go really fast with this. You have studied it in detail in class 8. So what do we have here? We have a source of alpha particles. That can be any metallic source. That can be a source of your alpha particles. Alpha particles are basically positively charged particles. And those particles, when they pass through an atom, there are three major observations that we come across. So what I have done is I have written the observations and the related conclusion with it. Now if you remember me teaching in class 8, I had taught Rutherford's experiment in exactly the same way, where we first learn the observations and then we go for the conclusion. Now let's look at what are my observations. The first observation that scientists noticed, rather Rutherford noticed, was that majority of the alpha particles pass undeflected. Here max means maximum. Maximum alpha particles actually passed undeflected from the atom, and that again proved Thomson's point that majority part of the atom is actually a vacant space or an empty space. So this is one thing that what Thomson had said, we agree to it, or rather Rutherford agreed to it and said that yes, it's correct. Since majority of them pass undeflected, that means there is nothing inside the atom in those places. Major part of the atom is actually vacant or empty. The second point that he saw, that very small portion of the rays were deflected. These are your deflected rays. These are your deflected rays over here. Now when I say small portion, maybe I mean, suppose 90% are undeflected and maybe that 8% or 9% is deflected. Now why are they deflected? Because they have hit a heavy mass at the center of the atom. So there is a heavy positive mass at the center of the atom. So you can question me then, ma'am, why did they deflect through it? Because alpha rays are also positive and that heavy mass is also positively charged. So there is a repulsion and automatically it has deflected away from that heavy mass. And the last observation that we see from here is that few particles have totally bounced back. So I have just shown one over here. I hope you can see I have just shown one over here where the particle has completely bounced back. Obviously it's difficult to draw so many particles. So whatever I could, I have shown one particle which has totally bounced back. So what does this mean? This means the presence of protons inside the nucleus, and of course that means electrons are present outside the nucleus. So students, you need to understand, by that time protons, electrons, everything was already discovered. Scientists already knew about it. So what Rutherford could come up with is that major part of the atom is a vacant space. The central part of the atom consists of a heavy mass, and inside that mass there's positive particles present, that is protons, which leads to high repulsion with the alpha particles, leading to total bouncing back of the ray, a total bounce back of the ray. I hope I am clear. So these are the basic observations and conclusions of Rutherford's experiment. If you go through your class 8, if you have your class 9 book, please go through that. If you do not have your class 9 textbook, go through your class 8 textbook for the same information, and your homework will be on this. Your homework will be to also go through the limitation of Rutherford's experiment. If I remember well, I had explained it in detail in class 8 how the Rutherford's experiment is very good for us to understand the structure of an atom, but it also has a huge drawback. So this remains your home task. The question is, please write down the question, that is your home task from here, that state the major limitation of Rutherford's model. I repeat, state the major limitation of Rutherford's experiment or Rutherford's model, anything. So that's it for the Rutherford's model, and next we will move on to Bohr's model.